Welcome back to the farm. My name's Roz, also known as Passion Flower, and you'll find me here each week talking about my farming and creative life. We had our first bonfire for the season this past week. I spoke last week about Mum clearing some of the driveway garden, and so we burnt the first lot of clippings from that, and we also had some stuff that had been sitting on the bonfire pile for a little while over the summer, waiting until we were allowed to burn off again. We also had our first inside fire because it is getting cold. So we collected more wood, and we have the trailer parked under cover, so we have dry wood at the house, and it was nice to be able to sit and knit by the fire. Not here in the shed yet, so I don't have the flue connected, but to be in the house and have the fire going all day was really, really lovely. Very exciting news this week is that we extracted honey from our hive. We took the comb from one level, and in the past we have done it quite manually to get the honey. We've cut the comb out of the frames and then pushed it through a sieve, and then we've had to then melt down the wax and take care of that way, and strain the honey a couple of times, and it's been quite a messy process. But we've bought an extractor, so you just pop the combs in and you spin it and all of the honey comes out. It's quite miraculous to sort of see these like empty honeycombs, and then it all drips down to the bottom. You open up the tap and then you pop it into a different bucket to then jar it up. So a much easier and cleaner process, and it helps to let all of the dirt and things out of the honey go to the top, and the good honey goes to the bottom, and that way you can get your clean honey in a fairly easy process. So that means no wax this season. What we will do is pop the frames with the empty comb back into the hive, and then the bees will just clean that up. They won't have to recreate the comb, and they can just start to refill it with honey. This weekend should be warm enough, so we should be able to take another layer off the hive and then close it down for the winter. So from the first layer, we got 5.5-ish kilos of honey. So from the second layer, we should get about the same. So we should end up with over 10 kilos of honey, which is super exciting. And it is so delicious. It's incredibly thick and creamy and sticky and dark. It's much darker than last season's, and it's quite rich. It's last season I think was a little bit, I don't know, tangier or something. This season's very smooth and creamy and rich and really, really delicious. So we'll be having honey on pretty much everything, and hopefully it will last through until next year, where we can get even more. Summer, there are blue wrens everywhere around here, and they're really beautiful, and I love to watch them come right up to the window, and they grab all the little bugs and everything from cobwebs. But I can tell when the seasons really start to change because the blue wrens disappear and we get the scarlet robin instead. And the robins come and sit along the fence here near the shed. And they just stand out so much in comparison to the green and grey of the autumn and winter days. So it's really lovely to see them out now. I do miss the blue wrens, but you only see these scarlet robins during the cooler months. And a garden update. It's so hard to believe that this time last year I was shoveling dirt into my brand new pallet garden beds. There was no path, there was no bricks, there was no like garden borders or anything like that. It was literally just a piece of the paddock, really. So now I've got that established garden with the mulch and my path, and I have been getting quite a lot of vegetables out of those 2 pallet boxes. In fact, I'm about to get to the point of taking the tomatoes and zucchinis out of the second box and adding more soil to that one, and then deciding what's going to happen with it for the spring. I think the pumpkins are close to being able to be harvested. As I said, I've never had any success with pumpkins before, so I really don't know what I'm doing. So another little look at Google, and then I think I'll cut them from the bush and take that out as well, and hopefully they will be delicious and edible pumpkins. Another thing I'm planting here is strawberries. We experimented with a few plants. My mum had a couple at her place which weren't doing that well, so she brought them up here and we put them in full sun, and they did well and they've started to grow larger. So I'm going to plant some more in the same spot, and hopefully we'll have a nice little strawberry patch for next summer. This week I sent out my monthly newsletter. If you'd like to sign up to get my updates, the link will be below. This month I shared about Anzac Day and about the 5,000 poppy project and how you could knit a poppy for yourself as a way to reflect and remember the service of our soldiers. So I have a video on knitting a poppy, and I've also provided the instructions on my version of a poppy as well. So I have an article on my website and you can have a look at that. So first, to share my knitwear that I'm currently wearing. This is Miranda that I knit in 2015. And it's super comfortable and soft, and I love it. It's got cables down the front and a kangaroo pocket at the front. And it's actually made out of the same wool that I'm currently using on my radiate. So I know that it's going to wear really well and is going to be warm and very, very comfortable. I will put my project details below so you can check it out. So on to my radiate progress, and I have finally split for the sleeves. I have done actually quite a lot. So I have split for the sleeves, and I have done the waist decreases and increases, and I'm now up to just knitting in the round down to the length it needs to be for the body. I will probably base it on the same length as the other radiate that I've already made, but what I am going to do is try and incorporate some of this brown and green ribbing on the bottom of the hem and also on the sleeve cuff as well, because I just think that that will be a nice detail and makes it a little bit different from my other one as well. Well, that's it for another week. Thanks for spending some time with me. If you're enjoying these videos, please give me a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel, and I look forward to seeing you next week on the farm. Bye.